Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever been right? I mean, really right. So right that you knew with total certainty that your viewpoint was absolutely correct. And your husband, your mother, your sister, your brother, your father, or your boss was totally, absolutely, positively wrong because you were right. And how far did that get you? Well, when I was young, I tried that technique. It didn't work so good. My parents didn't care for it very much. My father wouldn't tolerate it. My sister became angry. My boss didn't care for it so much. My husband really doesn't care for it. And my children don't either, because nobody wants to be wrong. In Toastmasters, we have the game of evaluating each other. When I call it a game, what do I mean? I mean, it has rules. It has a goal. So therefore, it is a game. It has something to win. What do you win by being a good evaluator? What you win is that your fellow Toastmaster becomes a better speaker. And as he goes out in the world, he says, I'm a better speaker. Not because he brags about it, but because he stands taller and he feels stronger and his smile is brighter. And people say, wow, what's happening? What's going on in your life? Oh, I'm a member of Toastmasters. Because he feels empowered. We have right here in Toastmasters, in these two manuals, all of the data about how to be a good speaker. But when you read these, it isn't always easy to take this data and to put it into action. That's why you get to evaluate another speaker, because they can't hear themselves when they stutter and when they go, they do not hear themselves say that. They don't notice when their fingers play with their hair, but you notice it. So it's up to you to help them. How do you do that? Well, that's the key. And I got to tell you, this piece of information will help you in everything you do in your life. It's really simple. If you coach them, help them, encourage them so that they win, so that they are right, so that they are a better speaker, if you do that, they will love you. Not only will they love you, they will take your ideas and they will implement them as if it was their own. And they will be better speakers because of it. So how does that really look? Well, you don't start out by saying, well, you did this and you did this and you did this and you did this. Oh, and by the way, your speech was terrible. Now that may be true. It may be true. But you will get no brownie points for saying that. So you had best find one thing that you can say that's good about what they said. One thing. Every speech has one thing, and I'll give you a hint. It goes like this. If the speech was so terrible, so absolutely positively awful, you can say, well done, you stood up there for the whole 5 minutes. Very good. Very good. And for some people, that's where you start. Now, I'm not suggesting that you talk down to them like children, although children don't much care for it when you talk down to them either. But you need to encourage them. So you find one thing that they did that's right. Now, maybe they did 2 or 3 things. Fine. Mention 2 or 3 things they did right. Then give them one positive thing that they can do to improve their speech. Is there such a thing? Of course there is. I have evaluated some of the best speakers in the entire district, and you know what? They're not perfect either. There is always something that they could do to be better, and they're in Toastmasters because they want to be better speakers. It's up to you to stand back outside of them and tell them what they can do to be better speakers. Maybe it's something like not waving your hands like this. Maybe it's using a larger gesture. Maybe it's speaking to the back of the audience, not just to the front row. Maybe it's looking in the eyes of the people you're speaking to instead of at the top of their head. Yes, they can tell when you do that. Those are things that you can do. So you want to wrap it up. Leave them with a positive feeling. A positive feeling. Why? Because if you don't, they won't come back. They won't be back. They won't want to do better. So here's your mantra. It goes like this. Coach to a win. Now I say coaching instead of evaluating because you're helping them get a little bit better each time. Each time. So in the beginning, if they just stood up here and talked for 4 to 6 minutes for an icebreaker, that's a pass. Well done. That's perfect. You did great. Next time, talk a little louder so the people in the second row can hear you. Something simple like that. And say it with a laugh. Make them feel like they're making progress. And if you take all of the people in your life, your husbands, your wives, your sisters, your brothers, your girlfriends, and you do the same with them, you give them encouragement so that they're better at what they do, then they will love you. And you will be an effective Toastmaster evaluator. Mr. Toastmaster.